All right, guys, are y'all ready to press F to pay respects to something that has been a part of our lives ever since we were children? It is no longer around any longer. E3 is officially dead.
Damn.
Which is wild, honestly.
1995?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa.
After several years of struggles and rumors of its demise, it was confirmed in the Washington Post's exclusive interview with President and CEO of the Entertainment Software Association, Stanley Pierre-Louis, told WAPO. Is that what people call Washington Post with WAPO?
Yeah.
That sounds like it's a bad word.
Sounds like something I can't say.
Yeah. That after more than 2 decades of hosting an event that has served as a central showcase for the U.S. and global video games industry, E3 would be no more. This comes after the COVID pandemic forced the ESA to cancel E3 2020, go all digital for E3 2021, and then cancel E3 2022 as well. This year's event was also canceled, as were those for 2024 and 2025, igniting rumors that it would never return, and it was killed by companies reducing their presence at the event. That the Game Awards host and producer Jeff Keighley relished its absence as it drew more attention to his Summer Game Fest. But just as recently as September of this year, E3 organizers were promising a reinvented showcase would come in a few years. While the reach of E3 remains unmatched in our industry, we are continuing to explore how we can evolve it to best serve the video game industry and are evaluating every aspect of the event from format to location. Pierre-Louis said then in a statement, "We are committed to our role as a convener for the industry and look forward to sharing news about E3 in the coming months." Now, however, it appears that the ESA's efforts to reinvent the show were fruitless. We know the entire industry, players and creators alike, have a lot of passion for E3. We share that passion, Pierre-Louis told WAPO. We know it's difficult to say goodbye to such a beloved event, but it's the right thing to do given the new opportunities our industry has to reach fans and partners. He confirmed that many have suggested contributing to the end of the conference, saying that companies now have access to consumers and to business relations through a variety of means, including their own individual showcases. E3 was once the pinnacle of game reveals, giving us classic moments like the public debut of then president of Nintendo, Reggie Fils-Aimé, the launch price reveal of the PlayStation, and of course, Akumi Nakamura. The official website for the event has been replaced with a screen that simply reads, "After more than 2 decades of E3, each one bigger than the last, the time has come to say goodbye. Thanks for the memories. Good game, well played." The event's official Twitter account shared this message as well.
COVID killed it.
Well, all right, Garbo. That's a good jumping off point.
Yeah.
Garbo. Because you're a little bit younger than we are, right? Did
E3?
did you have any E3 anything whenever you were growing up?
Mm-hmm.
Was it your Comic-Con of
I
gaming?
used to get little game magazines from them. My mom used to buy them for me.
So,
But that was it. Like, I wouldn't watch no TV or anything.
okay.
I remember seeing the G4 coverage every year. That
Yeah.
They had it.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me. I always loved it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about to say, I always had a magazine. So, not like a little magazine thing?
Well, they always, like the writers, the magazine writers would go to E3 and they would, write articles about their coverage and stuff there. But like from like 2003 to like 2008, maybe even longer, G4 was there. They were live streaming. They would have the whole E3 week blocked off where they would just live stream the entire time.
Yeah, they would have They would even have different, like there would be the PlayStation conference would be a whole different thing, and the Xbox conference and all that different stuff.
Yeah. And that was like really when Twitter started hitting off, because
Yeah.
people would they would read the tweets live of like things that have been unveiled or things that people's kind of talking about at E3. You know, that's when the hashtag thing, like hashtags became popular, at least from my perspective, because of people going to like conferences and things like this.
Comic-Con.
Yeah. And tweeting, you know, talking about it, hashtag E3, you know, 2020, whatever, 2005 or whatever. So that was kind of a big deal. And they always covered it. And even when, like, as things started to wind down, they always had that blocked off for Tech TV or G4 at that time to do E3 coverage. And it was a huge thing, man. You would have, you know, Adam Sessler, Morgan Webb out there talking about the new trailers for the games coming out.
Oh, Hardwick.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hardwick
was part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. They even brought Jeff Keighley in as well to be like a on boots on the ground, you know, doing his thing out there. So like there was a lot of people involved in that. And it was really something that I look forward to. It was like Christmas almost, you know. Yep. Here's all these upcoming games and here's all these trailers for these upcoming games, and like this was like early baby internet. So like they would get the ability to put the trailers on TV. They would get the ability to like interview the developers. They would, you know, be able to put the panels and stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, what do you think? Like, what do you think was the final nail in the coffin for the E3?
Man, I'm thinking with Darren, this is probably COVID. There was a couple years where they probably had to like pull it back a lot. Didn't make near as much money as they were hoping they were going to make.
Well, when they did the virtual,
yeah,
during COVID, they had to go virtual, and it was like,
nobody wants to do that.
Nobody watched it. I mean,
yeah.
And then it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like the gaming world's not moving fast enough for a good big E3 right now, too.
it's stale out there.
It's very stale, and you see some gems pop up here and there, but they're so few and far between nowadays, man. I don't know. It
doesn't help
sucks.
That games are like super expensive as well, so like it makes people more picky, choosy about what games they purchase.
Because I'm sure
they get plenty of games that are for free.
I'm sure y'all that watched it on G4 like I did every year, you were hoping at one point to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At some point in your life to just go see and play some games that aren't going to come out for another year and a half and do some shit like that. It sounded like a good time, and it sucks that we're in a climate that won't support that.
Yeah.
Especially as large as the gaming world has become since COVID.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you the pandemic made a lot of people gamers that weren't gamers before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let me throw this at you. So Nintendo hasn't gone to E3 like 10 years, maybe even longer. Like they're just like,
because they're fucking Nintendo,
right? And then Microsoft,
for the longest time in the South, someone's like, "I'm gonna go play Nintendo," and they could have been talking about their Sega.
Yeah. They do some kind of showcase every right.
Well, all right. This is what I was leading up to. Nintendo hasn't been there in like 10 years. They said that they weren't going to shell out the money required to set a booth up and do all this elaborate stuff. Their last Nintendo Direct, which was in September the 14th, has 4.4 million views.
Yep.
That was a live stream. Their Indie World Showcase from November the 14th has 769,000 views.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what I think that like COVID just put the E3 demise on the fast track, in my opinion. I think that it was doomed to go down at some point, but I think that game studios and major publishers, they have a direct tap. They have direct line to their audience.
Yeah, put it on YouTube.
They can live stream.
Why have to pay all this money and do all this? Like, there's a video.
Yep.
150 million views. Rockstar.
Yep. They can live stream on Twitch. They can live stream on YouTube. They can put videos up on YouTube. They can put TikToks up. They can put stuff on Instagram. I mean, social media is at everybody's fingertips constantly all day long.
Yeah,
That's it.
we're at a point where every game company can
Yeah,
hold their
yeah.
own little. I mean, Blizzard's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
They've had BlizzCon
Yeah.
for how long now?
And losing that G4 coverage.
Yeah, I mean
that
that.
made it big. I mean, there's no coverage.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
You
that
either
helped a
go
lot too.
or you don't.
Imagine
And if you don't go, you just wait for the trailers to pop up online. There they are.
Ma-
Bam. Watched it.
Imagine if the revitalized G4 would have been able to do something.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. So
I know that's been a long time ago, but we've never touched on that. So
yeah. Well, I mean, there's the good parts and the bad parts, and they all kind of get mixed matched together. And
Why it lasted.
yeah, I mean that's a classic case of like not catering to your audience. G4 means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but it means the same thing to everybody.
Adam
Video
Sessler didn't
games.
Get the memo.
Yeah. Well, it's video games, and then also like G4 was like Spike but intelligent. Spike TV
Yeah.
but intelligent Spike TV.
absolutely.
Yeah, tech.
Yeah.
TV
So-
Tuesday.
Yeah. So that's where G4 went wrong. Like, look, man, as bad as you want to change the world, guys, men, people that identify as guys, men, whatever, still like the same stuff and still going to identify with the same stuff at the end of the day. And you can't change that, and you can't
Just want to be nerds.
you can't force that change. So, but here's the big question, though. I'm gonna throw this to Dirt Leasley here. Do you feel that because there's two major cons that happen in the California, LA
Comic-Con.
area, do you think that that's going to go the same
I
route
think
as
that's
E3?
next. The only thing that's been keeping it alive for years is the movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Marvel movies have been keeping Comic-Con alive.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, it hasn't
now we
been about
see that
comics in
decline.
a long time.
We see that decline going down.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before they're like, we're calling it quits for Comic-Con. That's crazy to hear that that's going. I mean, tickets are overpriced.
Yeah,
You can't
absolutely.
like watch a fucking Comic-Con live stream. It's like, why don't you let people watch it?
Yeah.
Like on YouTube.
Mm,
Yeah.
You'll keep it going. No, it's a secret.
Yep.
Well, I'm not going there. I
Well,
mean,
you're doing it, so not because everyone there's going to leak shit. They always do.
oh yeah, they always record it with their phones, and
Mhm.
then you see bad quality Superman, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
it happens every time.
Yep.
I was thinking that when we were talking about E3, I was like, Comic-Con's next.
Yep. Well, then, look at it this way, though. You've got Comic-Con, and then you've got D23, and I think that's what it's called, the Disney panel thing. And then you
Yeah.
also have
They stream that online,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, they're
It's all out there.
kind of smart with it.
Let's see. D23. All right, let's see what the last.
Wasn't that long ago they did it, I think. That's where they covered all the new movies that were going to be coming out. Because that's pretty much, they don't need to go to Comic-Con.
Exactly.
They've got that now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's very interesting to see all these cons kind of take a dip down. But hey, man, here's the thing. People don't want to travel.
No, internet.
Yeah. I mean, why would I go to California and spend all that money to get there and to stay there and to deal with
$5,000
people?
probably.
Yeah, if not more. Just for why am I going? And why, what is pulling, it's not been a big enough thing for Comic-Con or E3 for me to commit to going, because I could just say, fuck it, I'm saving up for a year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Comic-Con.
Exactly. But I just don't want to spend the money to get there. I don't want to deal with the people that are there.
miserable.
Exactly.
You'll try to get into panels. You can't get in.
Yeah.
You're in line. People was like, this is bullshit. I just want to watch it at home.
Well, lucky for us, if we want an experience like that that's not as fucking wild, we could just go to Dragon Con.
Got Dragon Con.
Yeah. So,
which is something that we should do one year.
Yeah, I agree.
Before it's gone.
Yeah. Well, here's
I'm
what
gonna cosplay.
Here's what I think is going to end up happening off of E3 and off of Comic-Con if Comic-Con does decide to close down. You have different subsets of groups that go to conventions for different reasons, right? You have the seller, you have the buyer, you have the cosplayer, you have the people there looking for information, you've got the people there trying to network with people. There's this vast group of people. The majority of what most of the public think is the reason why people are going to conventions is for the information, right? Comic-Con has, all this information about upcoming movies and stuff. E3 has had all this upcoming information about, all of the video games and things like that coming up. You get rid of that. You move that online. You still have a void there where people are going to want to buy stuff, sell stuff, dress up, network, all that other stuff. I think that these smaller conventions like Dragon Con,
do it there.
I think that they're going to explode in popularity because it's going to be a regional thing. Instead of flying to California for us, we can take a day trip around the crunch, go there and come back home in the same day and get the full experience if we want.
Not spend 10 grand.
Exactly. So I really do think, and I've seen over the last year or two, which there's a lot of it rebound from COVID because people were pent up for so long that now they're just like, I want to go to a convention or I want to go do this. I want to go do that.
Yeah.
But you see people, they're like, oh, there's this convention where people are going to be, playing board games or TTRPGs, card games, comics, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to go. I'm looking for specific things. I want to try new games. I want to meet people, network, various reasons, things like that. And they're getting out of the house and they're going. And they're not having to fly all the way across the country.
They're doing a cruise.
Who?
Comic-Con.
Oh, my God.
2025. That's how desperate they are.
That sounds terrible.
$300 a ticket. Then you got the $500 for the balcony. There's a cruise lined up. They're desperate. If they're doing a cruise, it's desperation.
Yeah. Is it leaving out of
numbers? Word
a
down.
Cruise with Comic-Con
Tampa.
people? That sounds terrible.
Yeah, for real.
That's gonna be smelly.
Yeah, I just went to their page to see what happened. When was the last one? Because I don't know. Without G4,
yeah,
it just kind of fell off. There's nobody covers.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So,
and I ain't seen Kevin Smith talk about it in a while either.
Nah, his numbers were down there.
Yeah. Whole age,
Well, I mean, his numbers are probably down a little bit all around.
Well, he's working on Jay and Bob 3, if that tells you anything. So,
what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of that not catering to your fan base thing.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, for the people that got excited about E3, it sucks, but there's still things to get excited about. I think that Sony, Microsoft, and a lot of other developers, game developers specifically, are going to follow the same trend that Nintendo follows. They can do a 45-minute live stream, a pre-recorded live stream, by the way.
Yeah.
But they can do a 45-minute to an hour live stream, showcasing upcoming games, showcasing the future products and things like that. They don't have to have an audience full of people. They can film it ahead of time. They can edit it. They can cut it together, make it tight. And I was just scrolling through all of the Nintendo Directs over the past year. We're looking at 4.4 million, 4.1 million, 5.7, 5.2, 6.2. I mean, 5.6. It's the people that want the information get the information. The people that want to report on it gets the information
they
directly.
spread it.
Yeah, exactly. So the cycle still goes. The world still churns at the same pace that it was before. It's just now you have to look a couple of other places as opposed to going to a convention, wait in line, sweat. Yeah, you know what I mean? All of that stuff that comes with it. So
Sore calf muscles.
I feel that Microsoft and Sony will definitely follow suit, and then they'll probably start pulling in. Like, imagine if Microsoft does it. They've got Bethesda, they've got Activision Blizzard now. They can do one big live stream about each individual. You've got the hardware version of Microsoft. You've got here's what Bethesda's doing. Here's what Activision's.
Here's the Game Pass across different platforms.
Yes, yeah. So it's not far-fetched or out of the realm of possibility, and I really think that that's the direction they're going to go. So, but yeah, RIP E3. Let's have a moment of silence for E3.